So guys, welcome. My name is Sunay Tripathi. I'm one of the founders and CTO for Pluribus Networks. We are going to go into one of the applications that we deliver on Netvisor. This is the analytics application, right? The goal here is that people can obviously program this and configure this to their needs and whatever, but we want to give Apple style something, toys, gizmos they just have, and they're very useful toys and gizmos here basically, right? I mean, when iPhone came out, you thought it was just a toy. Today your life depends on that damn thing basically, right? So same style, very simple, connection stat show, right? Or connection show. Every connection that's going through my fabric right now in Pluribus network is live here, right? Big brother watching, I think we take that to a new definition basically, right? What every guy is doing, we see it right here, right? Which client, which IP, talking to which server, what is the current state, what is the average latency, bytes in, bytes out, age. So a lot of it is running from memory. You can see we keep going back. A lot of it is real time, and we can go back into the history as well, right? So I'll show you that. But very simply starting from, I want to see who's my biggest user right now, right? So based on the total byte, looks like 7 hours back, someone transferred or did 174 meg total, right? This was between this guy and this guy. Okay, interesting.
So this may have been asked, but I'm going to ask again because I may have, I didn't
Sure.
hear the answer. This is exposed northbound, so I don't have to screen scrape this, right?
No, totally. That is exactly the goal. In fact, when you get into, because we are showing by default what we are dumping here is last 2 seconds worth of or 10 seconds worth of data, whatever it is, maybe more. But the data here is multiple gigabytes per switch, right? So you really want tools and stuff to process it, right? But the part we have done is, the gizmo part here is, or cool part here is, that for quick stuff that you want to see, you can actually see it here, right? Who is my biggest user right now? And I can say within last 5 minutes, right? So I just say 5 minutes, and within last 5 minutes, 10.9.9.10.1 talking to this server transferred 86K. Looks like nobody works at Pluribus. Can we find out where are the people? Anyway, barring that, let's dig a little bit deeper. Let's look at this client and see connection show, right? Client IP, and we paste this. And we see what else does it do. So it looks like this client talks to a bunch of different servers, right? Some are different state and so on and so forth, right? Typical thing we are looking at, a client got broken into, or server got broken into, we know it. So the next question that comes in, who else talks to that server, right? Just picking one of the servers here or whatever the IP is. And we say server IP, and we cut and paste that same thing, and we immediately see, okay, looks like only this particular client is the one talking to this server, right? So all this information is just visible here, right? We can go into start time, end time, slice and dice it. I can go into connection show again, start time, pick some number, maybe I'm just gonna go 10 a.m. :00, end time, 10:05, right? And what we see is stuff that was between 10 and 10:05 a.m. basically, right? So the goal here is that, not only, if you look at it, 3 parts, right? I mean, you solve hard problems in terms of making the switch work, and OS actually handle the switch chip, because these are very powerful switch chips. Network, without network is useless. Single device don't interest us, right? So solve the distributed system problems, but then give enough apps and enough L2, L3 control that people find these devices useful from day one, right?
Since you have full flow data on this, is this command set extensible or customizable per user, so you could actually do things like bring jitter into this conversation too, so you see the jitter between two in a communication?
So a very excellent question, right? That can we extend this command set and all? Some of it is coming. You can use our API, because believe it or not, our CLI is using the same C API that we provide to end customers, right? Okay. There is no difference at all. Even down to the argument names, you will see the data structure matching the exact name, and you will see the syntax literally like that. Doesn't matter C or Java or REST, right? So you can use that to extend stuff and do more and filter it, whatever. But currently the way we have delivered the CLI is it's contained basically, but we have tried to make it very useful in terms of everything is tab complete. Even the arguments are tab complete, right? So if you want to apply a operation to a particular switch, you just say switch. The tab is actually filling what are the 3 possible options here basically, right? I can just say Aquila 812 and it just tab fills this, right? And I can just say port show, and what you're seeing is now the Aquila 12 port show basically, right? So instead of entire fabric view, you're going into individual switch if you want to, right? So all those things are possible. Client server stat show, again, we keep pairwise also, because oftentimes in the world of VMs, when you have thousands of VM per rack running, which VM is active? Who does it talk to? Where does it go? Who does it belong to, right? No easy answers to this question, right? So we are keeping a pairwise set of each client talking to each server. What is the typical port? How many SYN went out? How many SYNs came in? All that data is visible here basically, right? So we keep pairwise stuff as well. We keep the biggest user, we keep all this stuff. And again, this is where, depending on the size of the system, right, you go to a bigger system with bigger memory, you will have more data coming straight from memory. You have Fusion IOs, you can log more, and so on and so forth. You go to our smaller systems, they're very cost effective, very cheap basically. Obviously you have a smaller memory and no storage to put all this together, right? So it's all based on what your needs are, rather than, you know, we're trying to sell you something.